off their countries. And they are already out on court. I can tell you there they are. There is the world number 1 of badminton, one of the most successful players, of course, in the game. I just met him in the hotel as he was coming out of here. Of course, I've met him a few times. Amazing person, really good player. And this is Wan Ho from Korea, world ranking of 9th. He's 26 years old. Good career win-loss, as you can see, 104, and doing pretty well in 2014 as well. Right-handed, as you can see, 5'9", and look, there you go, world ranking 1. Look at that career win-loss, 528 to 105, possibly the greatest badminton player of all time. Of course, there's another man, Lindan, who is sort of in exactly the same manner. Of course, he drops in and drops out of tournaments. For most Malaysian badminton fans and most world badminton fans, this man, Lee Chong Wei, is the best. Here are umpire and service judge for today, Kelly Hall from Australia, Pinder Sabawal from India. India, of course, on a bit of a high right now because the men may have had to exit the Thomas Cup on Monday at the hands of South Korea, but their women's team, led by the inspirational Sanya Nehwal, has made it to the last 8 of the Uber Cups end stage. And I can tell you now, there are some other matches, of course, going on in this afternoon session. This is the last day where there shall be 3 sessions a day, one morning, one afternoon, one. And we've already seen some amazing matches. There was a great Uber Cup tie you just would have seen, which saw Indonesia here. Well, they may have won 4-1, but I'll tell you, every single one of those matches and every single one of those games within those matches was down to the wire, and it was one of the longest enthralling contests so far. Now, everything is on the eyes, all the eyes, sorry, are on the eyes of Wan Ho. This event of the 2012 Summer Olympics. He also has a bachelor degree from Inha University in Incheon. And I think we're just about ready to go on court 2. So, the first point, of course, so critical in Thomas and Uber Cup action. Wan Ho, who of course took part in the Badminton Asia Championships, and he did make the semi-finals of the All England Open.
Gentlemen, on my right, Korea,
in March this year, and it was actually Lee Chong Wei who disposed of him, 21-14, 19-21, 15-21. So he has got the claim to fame, at least, of being able to take a game off the champion. See if he can take 2 games off the champion today. And look at that. This has been the theme of play today. That there has been no warm-up. One of the first game. Things have been kicking off right from the start. Straight. A good blind. You can just see Chong Wei beginning to stretch his game a little bit. So far he's just been, in essence, just playing nice defensive tactics from the mid-court. Of course, defensive tactics for Chong Wei can so easily does something extremely offensive. And of the two players in these opening 4 points, it's been the Korean that's moving around the court a lot more. Of that. And his teammates look on. They've been quite exceptional, the Korean team, so far. And here's the 26-year-old with a couple of points. That was a very nice idea. And you can see how well read it was by Chong Wei. Have a look at it again. A nice little backhand net kill. He's played a great many games.
3-all.
And he knows that backcourt line so well. So, level at 3 apiece. Chong Wei back with the serve. That was very well done. I was just about to say in the middle of that point, very difficult to find space against Chong Wei. He does manage to marshal that center tee so well. You really have to be right on the lines. Variety of shots so far from Chong Wei. The other ties that he has played over the last 3 days, he hasn't come out quite as incisive, mainly because he didn't have to, but you can just see from some of the backcourt smashes as well, he's not taking this lightly at all. As we said earlier, Wan Ho has taken one game off Chong Wei. That was at the All England, which of course Chong Wei went on to win, beating straight games. That was earlier this year in March. Perhaps Chong Wei is thinking about that and just wants to clear up that one little blip from his. He of course has had a stellar year, as he always does. There was a win at the Malaysia Open, the All England Open, the India Open, up at Singapore Open. And these are all just tiny victories to a man that has won pretty much everything, with the exception of the Olympics, of course. Each of these shots has been shining with quality from both players.
Shuttle.
Just a good example of Chong Wei's speed and movement there. Come off the jump, move straight to the net. Still good performance so far from the Korean. And that Chong Wei has those extra gears that he can move into. But he is not perturbed so far by Of Lee Chong Wei on the other side of the net. And he's keeping pace with him. 7-5 now. As we said earlier, this Group C encounter between Malaysia and Korea to decide who will be topping the group. So important to top the group. If you want to miss the other top seeds. Of course, Indonesia now already through with 3 wins in Group A ahead of Thailand. China, of course, through 3 wins in Group D over France. Fantastic shot
Service over
from Wan Ho.
9.
He could see down on the ground, and he picked his spot, followed through nicely. Wan Ho led to Chong Wei in full stretch. This game being played on the white lines. Beautiful cross-court drop from Chong Wei. I don't know if that, but that was an incredible shot from the forehand side he paid. Who was there, I think? Slip.
Play.
Could have gone so much worse. 8-9. And Chong Wei still checking that patch that he slipped on. No court cleaners as of yet. Just checking his grip. Great power, great angle on the shuffle. Very difficult with the upward stroke to retrieve and pick that up. So Wan Ho did well, just clipped the top of the net. 10-8. First real points gap between the players. That was commanding form from Chong Wei. There is, of course, at the 11-point break, just and taking the lead. (11-8) in the first phase of final round-robin tie.
Thank you, players.
Against Korea. This tie to decide who will top Group C. Wan Ho, the 26-year-old, who I suppose, when playing Lee Chong Wei, I suppose what you really have to mention is that he did manage to take the world #1 earlier this year. Apart from that, his general performance so far from Lee Chong Wei, a little bit more incision. He knows it's getting closer to the business end of the tournament. He always picks up his form. Look at that, look at that. Point as quick as that. You'd take it. So much power on the smash, followed up so quickly up to the net and just killed it to the other side. 12-8 now. Now the members of our commentary team here, Jim Lagasan, the doubles player, was saying just the other day how the backhand flick has almost vanished, but for Chong Wei it is a valid shot. He can get so much power into his flick. You saw him use it a couple of times just in those early points, and of course that, when you're playing him, you don't know where it's going to come from. Great cross court. Just wide. So. 13-9. Chong Wei to serve. And you just see Chong Wei just trying his motion a little bit from his right arm. A couple of those drives have just been a bit too errant for his liking. That one just a bit low on the net. So 11-13. And plenty of encouragement to be taken for Korea's first shuttler up in this Thomas Cup 5-match tie. Doubles, second singles, second doubles, and finally the third singles. And with two teams on this caliber, this means fantastic badminton for the world to see. And he might be having troubles on the other. But not on the forehand side by the looks of it. So we've already seen in this first game pinpoint accuracy on in cross courts, and one of the lines probably going to stay away from this backhand side drive. It's the only one he's been a little bit errant on, and I suppose there's always, even as a world champion, you want to work on. And he's finding his rhythm. 2016 game point.
20 game point 16.
How many times has Lee Chong Wei got to this point? I think it's safe to say a fair few. Just shot that a little wide. little bit long.
17-20.
Still, he has 4 game points. Change of shuttle for the Korean. Disguise that. You could just see son Wan Ho just so halfway into the first Korea-Malaysia tie in the Thomas Cup. The final day of round-robin action. It's the afternoon session here in New Delhi. And I have the honour of watching the world's best. World number 1, Lee Chong Wei of Malaysia. Already 1 game up in this match. 26-year-old Son Wan Ho from Korea. And you can see in the blue and white, who put up a great fight in the first game. But as we said, a few extra gears that he can move through, and he did so effortlessly. And after being down at 16, powered his way through to a 21-18 win. Here we are, ready for the second. And that was beautiful. Sometimes when he moves, it's almost as if he knows exactly when that shuttle is going to... Incredible shot planned by Chong Wei. And there you go again. We saw how devastating he was from both sides in that first game. Here it is. Round the head, overhead, cross-court smash into the corner. 2-1. Long way stretched, of course. I think he knows how awful this Korean team has been and can get. So he's definitely not doing this at a training pace or a walking pace. We need to see more and more of his guns coming out. And that was brilliant. No identifiable weaknesses so far. Shooting from this side of the court. So Chong Wei moving very fluidly now. That one a bit long. I'm just looking to the sky. He does really come down on himself for the shots he misses. Again, amazing. And if that shot had gone in, that literally would have been one for the highlights reel. And that might be where this young 26-year-old from Korea could start eking out some points and forcing the issue at the net, lessening the response time that Chong Wei has. It might rattle him enough, as we saw in that last point, to just push the odd shot long or wide. But really, when playing Chong Wei, you not only have to or find a successful strategy quickly. And just before you know it, you're a game down. So can Wan Ho from Korea give his country an opening point? Of course, the I will finish top of Group C, which is ideally the best spot to be in as you move into the quarterfinals. As you see the face some of the big powerhouses. Malaysia, of course, currently topping Group C with 2 4-1 wins in their previous ties. Against Germany and India. Korea have had a tougher run. They had a 3-2 against Germany and India. Of course, that leaves them with less points, less games, out of group points, 4 apiece right now. Probably could have left that one. Wan Ho now willing to take on some of these longer rallies. Chong Wei entertaining him. Both just standing on their back lines. Defensive strategy now, willing to take on a few more rallies, maybe just to see how they will fare. He's 7-5 up. And that beautiful cross-court break. Diving Chong Wei to retrieve. Great technique shown by the Korean. That's a testament to how much Wan Ho has been running around this court. His side of the court currently getting cleaned. Families around New Delhi, and some of the fans from here and around Asia have all gathered here at the wonderful Sri Fort Sports Complex in New Delhi. Best of the best in Asia's biggest badminton tournament. Wan Ho kicking off this tie for Korea in the first singles match against Malaysia. 8, the biggest lead he's had so far against the world number 1. And it just gets bigger. 9-5. Nice angle on that. That's always the danger of standing in mid-court. You just saw Wan Ho trying to essentially do what Chong Wei's been doing to him, just stand mid-court with a foot in either backhand and the forehand courts. Just trying to marshal things from there with blocks, but very susceptible to the backcourt line winners. And look at again. It's not just the angle, it's also the speed. Almost impossible to pick up. And Chong Wei saw himself 4 points down, decided to up the ante a little bit. 7-9. And we'll probably see, I'm sure, one more attempt at an outright winner just to get him up to
play
a points tally he can strike from. As predicted.
9, shuttle.
It is really about how you channel your own skills and your own talent to recoup points and score points. The quickest man to 21. If you find yourself in a harsh situation, what will delineate a champion from another player is the ability to come back. He's so good at that. Net tosses there, just
10-8.
So 10-8 now. Wan Ho wants to get back in this match.
Service over.
Chong Wei just closes back.
10.
What used to be a 4-point lead. You hardly ever see, of course, Chong Wei's renowned for being able to string together at the end of games, so it's not really indicative in the early parts of the games as to what the score is. And even for a world number one, if you're, say, 10, 11 points, you're just really asking yourself to play exceptional badminton all the time. I'm sure this is one of the things that the coaches of Malaysia over the years have lending him their experience. He's, of course, Malaysia's national treasure.
Service over. 11-9. Interval.
So in the first game, Chong Wei at the midway point was 11-9 up, and in the second game, perhaps a little bit of encouragement for the 26-year-old Wan Ho, as he's taken the unofficial lead at the midway point of the second game, his first match of the Malaysia career. On the final day of round robin action, Thomas and Uber Cup Finals 2014. Played right at the body or even just behind it.
10-11.
Away. It was actually a very good attempt at trying to retrieve it. I'm sure a player will come along one of these days into the badminton fraternity that has the unique ability to return shots that are fired. Hasn't happened yet. There's even the likes of Lee Jury, Lindan, Chong Wei. It's almost a free point. And how quickly Chong Wei recovered from that. It was flat on the ground. What a beautiful rally that was, and you could almost feel when Wan Ho checked the line and put up an adequate clearance. Chong Wei knew exactly where he was going to fire that smash. Not his most powerful, but enough to draw him level at 11 apiece. Amazed that Wan Ho managed to retrieve that cross court. That one was that's kind of what I expected. I'm sure what Chong Wei expected from the first one, so he just thought he'd try it again. As you can hear some of the other ties that are happening here at these 3-4 complexes, we watch Chong Wei and Wan Ho. I can tell you that in court 1, as you just heard, Japan and Denmark can be the cup. There is, of course, the consolation match, I suppose you could say, from this Group C, which includes Malaysia and Korea, and that's Germany, India. That's also happening here, of course. Indian men's team eliminated by Korea in a 3-2 loss on Monday. Their women's team still doing very well at the Uber Cup, thanks to really exceptional form from Saina Nehwal. That was a beautiful point from Wan Ho, just to stop Chong Wei from charging ahead. He doesn't usually leave much space around the court for you to exploit. And on that occasion, Wan Ho had quite a large area to aim. Seems to be this transition from fast play to the delicate net tosses that actually could be Wan Ho to exploit. Chong Wei hasn't been 100% on those. It's 13 apiece now. And this is the danger area for Chong Wei, is known for just pulling away at this 3-quarter stage of any game. Forearm in their wrist, one continuous line to keep the follow through. Of course, you're not allowed to touch the net either. And no fault for Chong Wei in thinking that he'd left that, and then he needed to centralize himself. And it was well spotted by Wan Ho. Just killed it. Still 15-13. Of course, as the world number 1, he's expected to win in straight games. Such a great tonic for the coaches. I saw Rashid Sidek just now, legend of Malaysian badminton himself, and it must be great fun just to watch some of Chong Wei just stand up every time and lead Malaysia off every time in the style and the force that he does. 16-13 now, and everything looking good in the Chong Wei book. So often this happens to his opponents. They watch the game slip away. 17-13 now. Recovery again. And you can tell what a great shot, a disguised cross-court smash. After all the power, it just dipped just ahead of the net. at this, he gets up here. That was good enough to win. And credit to Wan Ho, but look at that. And then look at this fantastic disguised drop shot. 18-13.
Thank you.
And you can just see on the other side of that court, court 3, that's the Malaysia-Germany tie, the Uber Cup,
13.
Malaysia's women.
Play.
There have been a couple of instances, of course, here at the Sriphort Sports Complex where both teams been playing right next to each other. Wan Ho was convinced that was going out. I think we all knew a little bit better. There have been a couple of instances, as I said, of teams playing men's and women's. Of course, the unfortunate case of the Singapore women's and men's team, both qualified for the first time for the Thomas and Uber Cup finals together. Both played their final matches this against Australia and Nigeria, and sadly, both of them 5-0 losses. Meanwhile, Lee Chong Wei, world number 1,
20, match
and
point,
the figurehead and
13.
talisman for Malaysian badminton, is now at match point. He's reached this point so many times in his career. He's got 8 of them. I have a funny feeling he's not going to need that many. Scurrying back 4 shots. He always knows pretty much exactly where it's going to be. Still, he has plenty more match points. It's 14-20. It's a great round. Chong Wei played off the serve. $15-20. Now, don't get your hopes up just yet. I'm sure is what all the Korean fans are thinking at the moment. It's far from over when you're playing Lee Chong Wei. And that last shot may have been out, but I think I'm safe to say that everyone watching just now would be marveling at Chong Wei's precision on court and his variation of speed, not just in his movement but also in the shots that he plays. He said this young 26-year-old from Korea was really up against it and did a lot of great returns this end. Any one of those shots could have spelt the end of this match. Again, returns the killing point with his own.
17-20.
I did say that the and with Chong Wei just needing 1 point to close out this match, but one thing you have to say about Korean badminton, they never ever give up, singles and doubles. He's done it. with the most spectacular shot at the end. He knew he had to break the rhythm of Sun Wan, gaining in confidence. Lee Chong Wei, as usual, has delivered Malaysia's first point. That's confirmation in just 50. Number 1, 21-17, 21-17, mirrored scores. Malaysia 1-0 up against Korea.